This is where the fun begins.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the Incarnon Torid. I actually uploaded a Dual Toxicist video earlier today before this one, so if you haven't seen that, please take a look. That weapon is incredible. But today we're going to go over the Torid. I highly recommend you pick this. If you want to know if it's good or not right off the bat, it is. Definitely pick it up, especially based off what you saw in the first clip. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, let's talk about the Incarnon evolutions. So the Torid has a couple options. Now, as far as the first one, I went with the multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity, not because of the fact that you're going to take advantage of that while in Incarnon form, but because you're going to take advantage of that big 60% increase to damage. That is extremely good. Now, for the other one, this is kind of preference. I went with the projectile speed because hitting those headshots with the grenade launcher form, its original form, can be tricky if you have a slow moving projectile. It is very helpful in that sense. It also kind of makes it easier to proc the Incarnon form. And for the last one, I went with critical chance because the Torid is mainly a status weapon. It has plenty of status. Now, the other options are balanced or full status. You definitely could go with that. It is quite good as well. I tested it. But I went with the extra crit because I have a Riven and it allows me to hit well over 200% crit with the build I have. So I went with this. But it's totally up to you. Now, for the build, if you don't have a Riven, it's going to look like this. You still have over 100 crit. This is base form, by the way, 5.6 critical multiplier, and 73.6% status. Now, I was testing against highly armored units with a beam weapon, so I put on corrosive. You can do viral heat, you can do corrosive, you can do gas, you can do whatever you want, depends on whatever enemy archetype you're fighting. But in the beginning clip, this was just corrosive. Now, if we scroll down to what the damage looks like in Incarnon form, with this mod setup and with those evolutions, you're looking at almost 150 crit, almost 125% status, and a good amount of critical multiplier. All right. Now, the Riven deposition is 4, so if you don't have one, I would try to get one because anything over 3 is extremely good. At the beginning, what you saw was the build I just talked about, right? Now these are paws, they are highly armored, but it only takes 3 headshots to proc this, sometimes 2. If you get primary merciless and galvanized scope to start proccing, you can easily start wiping these guys off the face of the earth. At times 8, it's starting to tack up. We hit them once. See there how it almost did it in a single shot? This weapon is made to be an Incarnon form. This is basically the new and improved Ignis Wraith. And it behaves like an AoE weapon where the beam is connecting to nearby enemies, allowing you to basically use less ammo because it spreads. Two shot. See how they're just dying to the single shot with hunting munitions? It works in both forms. Whatever you want to do. This thing shreds. And it has an extreme amount of range. Especially with projectile. The projectile speed and evolution. I mean, you can't even see the enemies. The numbers are so big. Alright. So yeah, this weapon is extremely good. Now, if you have a Riven and you're wondering what you should look for, it should be no surprise that you're going to look for crit and crit damage. Having this much crit and crit damage allows you to mod for a little bit more status. Say I have two 60/60 mods. You don't even actually need this because it already has inherent toxin, but I'm running that anyway because I want the extra status percent. And it allows me to run that because I can get my extra crit and my critical damage in other ways rather than running hammer shot or something. So with a Riven, it'll look like this. The status is a little lower, but in Incarnon form, I have 242 crit, 11 critical multiplier, and basically 120% status. It is huge. Now, I am running viral here, but if I were to run just Toxin, like for a Corpus build, it would look something like this. There's a number of ways you can use this weapon. Beam weapons are and always have been extremely powerful in this game, and it should come as no surprise that the Torid is extremely strong. It is the new Ignis Wraith. If we start from scratch again and prime them, we're looking at a lot of hunting munitions, building up primary merciless, a lot of connections to those enemies. See, I was shooting this guy here, and it was connecting to that guy way over here. The connection is huge. I mean, you can't even really see the enemies if they're all grouped up because the numbers are just blocking them. Proc it. They're dead from one shot. Little AoE. Look at that, I'm hitting a red crit on the cloud. Look how it's spreading. I'm not even hitting them. That's pretty decent. But as soon as you start actually using the beam, it actually has inherent 3 punch through. That's the other thing that makes this thing so strong, is it has inherent punch through. You don't even have to mod for it. You don't even have to run Prime Shred. It comes with it. I personally wouldn't run Prime Shred because the fire rate is fine, and you're not going to have that much ammo with this thing anyway. 100 ammo right off the bat there. I mean, run whatever you want, but Prime Shred is not necessary. It already has a good fire rate because it's a beam weapon. It doesn't really make a huge difference. But like I said, this thing is awesome. Depending on what you're looking for, you don't even have to run hunting munitions because, again, you're kind of just shredding them anyway. So if you want to go for, let's say, more damage and throw in something like a heat mod, where is it? Why is it always at the end? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Now you've got viral heat, proccing galvanized aptitude, giving you a little bit extra damage. Here we go. Get it going. Now you're reducing half of their armor by using a viral heat setup, and it does great. Look at that damage. Around 50k red ticks. Yeah. This weapon is extremely powerful. I highly recommend you get it. That brings us to the end of the video. If you like this type of content and want to see more, consider subscribing. If you like this video, leave it a like and comment what you think the next best Incarnon weapon will be. I think the Soma is going to be really strong, and I really hope the Hate is going to be good because the last couple melees have been mid as hell. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.